Good morning, everyone. We are going to be getting ready together today. I don't know about you, but I just have those mornings when I feel like this. Mornings aren't pretty, but we're going to try and make this face look pretty. And I've got several new items I'm going to be using today, including the new BK Beauty True Beauty eyeshadow palette. I have been playing with most of these things a few times. Have a new Huda Beauty, I never say that right, Huda Beauty foundation, and several other things. So if you want to come along, put some makeup on, talk about some new products, then let's get started. All right, so this isn't brand new, but it's one I've not used a ton. This is the Marc Jacobs, what's it called? Undercover Perfecting Coconut Eyeshadow Primer. Just going to put this all over the lid. This is a little more of a gel-like formula. It is really nice. Next, I need to add some moisturization to the lips. So I'm going to use this City Lips Plumping Lip Gloss, and this is just the clear one. Yeah, clear. City Beauty was so kind to send me a huge box of goodies, so I'm just testing them out. So far, I love this. It smells really nice, and even though it says plumping, you really don't feel it plumping, but I don't know. You'll have to tell me at the end, right, when we wipe it off, if you feel like my lips look smoother, but it's supposed to do all these amazing things for our lips, so we'll check it out. All right, so as that sinks into the lips, we're gonna go back to the eyes, and as I mentioned at the beginning, I have the new BK Beauty True Beauty eyeshadow palette. A very special thank you to Lisa for sending this to me in PR. I received this a couple days after it launched, and I have really been having some fun playing with this palette. I'll pop up on the screen here some swatches. It is overall neutral with just that one pop of purple, and Lisa's so cute. She's like, don't let that scare you, and she has done several tutorials. I've already seen several other tutorials from many other YouTubers using this palette, and many of them use that shade and show you a really nice everyday way to use that. So I'm not going to use that shade today, but I'm going to show you just a little different way to use some of the deeper shades in this palette. So first of all, I'm going to go in with Beam. I'm going to use the Sigma E50. Now this formula is so unique. It is super buttery and creamy and very soft. As you can just see, I would say the closest formula that I have used to this would be kind of the It Cosmetics eyeshadow formula. You know, it's a real silky smooth. There are 6 mattes and 6 shimmers in this palette, but the mattes aren't like dry mattes, and the shimmers, you're gonna see in a moment, are just very, very soft. So the next shadow I'm gonna go into now is this one right here, and it's called Kind Vibes. Now there are a couple of cooler shades like this one, but overall the tone of this palette is a little bit more on the warm side, but I think it will appeal to just about everybody. If you can handle a little bit of warmth, I think you would enjoy this. If you are only a cool tone gal, then you probably aren't going to enjoy half of the palette. But I just find these shadows, they're so soft, and they almost like pretty much blend themselves out. So they do take some building. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with the BK Beauty 206. And I'm going to use a little more of that Kind Vibes shade. By the way, I love all of her names in this palette. It's really nice to have pleasant words to say when you're giving the name of an eyeshadow. So by using a little denser brush, I did get a little more pigment, but still it's very soft. So everything in this palette is going to be super soft, even these deeper shades. All right, so we're gonna go in with the deeper shade. We're gonna go in with Queen now. And I wanna show you this first on its own, and I'll show you what I mean. So I just tapped off my brush, and yes, I'm using, you know, kind of a slightly fluffy brush, but I mean, you're not getting like, oh my word, I've got to blend forever, you know, kind of thing. So it's a good thing, again, if you are kind of more of a beginner with makeup, this can be a very user-friendly palette, but also if you have more mature eyelids, I think this palette was made for you. All right, so I'm gonna recreate a look I did yesterday, and that was using this deep dark shade. I wanted to see what this could do because it's a shimmer, but it's the deepest shade in the palette. And I tried it just kind of on its own, and I wasn't getting the kind of pigmentation I wanted. So I'm gonna show you what to do with this palette if you want stronger color payoff. I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Cocoa. This was new to me. I got it in the Sephora sale and still playing with it, you know, on its own, but I have been enjoying it as a base for shadow like I'm doing here because it is a nice, soft, very blendable formula. So I'm just kind of doing a kind of a small triangle there in the outer corner. I'm going to take the BK Beauty 207, just a bullet brush, kind of a pencil brush, but it's rounded on the tip, and I'm just going to soften the edge of that. All right, now we are going to go into our palette. We're going to go into that deep shade called Dream. It's a beautiful, beautiful deep plum shade. And what I'm going to do on that same brush, I am now going to tap off. Now these shadows, you do have fallout. I usually don't tap off this well. So I would recommend, especially if you're going in with the darker shades, do your eyes first and then foundation. So you can see I'm adding it over the top of that Caviar stick, and even though there's shimmer in the shade, you don't see it really translate hardly at all to the eyes. And you're now getting just a really nice dark pigmented color. And then I'm going to go back to the 206 and go in with Queen and use that to blend that edge out. And I don't know if you've ever used deep shades like this, but typically you can be blending forever, and look, we're like pretty much all blended out. So these really do blend super well. And then I'm just gonna take that brush kind of softly up towards the brow bone a little bit. Okay, and then before we finish out the lid, I'm going to take the 201 brush, and I think I'll go in with just a little bit of Grace, and I'm just going to use this right along the edge. You can see it just provides just a hint of warmth there. You know, I like to do this when I'm using kind of really cool shades. All right, now for the lid. These shimmers, as I said before, are a totally different formula. So they are super pigmented, but you're just going to get a pearly finish. You are not going to get any chunks of glitter. I'm gonna go in with Ambition. This is a really pretty, just soft pink. So soft, but kind of a true, almost like baby pink, cool tone pink. And you can see, I mean, it just like melts into your skin. It's not going to highlight texture on your lids, and no matter how much you build this up, you're not going to get that like super foiled finish. And I've even used these shadows wet, and kind of same thing, it's just smooth. I think that's what's unique about this formula. I'm now going to take an E60 and go into the one next to it called Glow. This is a really pretty shade. And I'm going to use this kind of in the center just to kind of blend that pink. I'm gonna do a little bit of a gradient, and then I'm gonna go back with my bullet brush and a little bit more of these two shades. So a little bit of Dream first, just to kind of I don't want to lose that depth there at the lash line, and then a little bit of Queen kind of right above it. So you can see we have a little hint of shine, and we're going to add a little more with our inner corner highlight, but really super soft shimmers. Okay, for eyeliner, I have a couple of new ones. So I'm gonna first go in with the Hold the Line Waterproof Liner by Buxom. One of you all recommended this to me. You said this is the only one that stays on your waterline, and I have to say, this is very long wearing. The funny thing, if you buy this, okay, see the length of the pencil? And I was like, why is the box so long? It's because they include a little mini sharpener, so don't throw the sharpener away. I thought that was a really nice added bonus. So really nice. I have the shade, here's my number, which is the kind of dark black brown shade. I'm gonna put this just in the waterline. I'm not going all the way across the waterline, but just kind of into the roots of my lashes here, and going about 2/3 of the way across. It's really soft, transfers well, but it does set and stay pretty quickly. I'm going to use a little bit of this in the upper rim as well. And then on the lower lash line, this isn't brand new. I've had this for a while, but I'm going to go in with Tiger's Eye from Urban Decay. And looks like I need to sharpen that. Okay, now we're gonna apply this below the lashes. I love this color. It's almost the color of the shadow we've got kind of going on right here. I'm gonna take the M432 from Morphe and just a little bit of Queen, just right here in this outer edge. And then I'm gonna take, I think a little bit, let's use a little bit of Glow. Just right here. Okay, the other eyeliner I'm going to use is this one by Maybelline. It's called the Hyper Easy. It's waterproof, which I actually didn't know. I used this yesterday. Really loved how easy it was to apply. And it says, easy lines, smooth glide, no skipping. Has a shaker ball, and it has a very soft, small, fine tip. My mom actually used this before I tried mine, and she said, that was so easy. I really like liquid liner now. So let's give this a try. Let's see. I'm going to do just a little bit of a wing here. Time to clean up under the eyes with some almond oil. I didn't have nearly as much fallout today because I really tapped my brush off. So if you tap your brush off really well with those eyeshadows, that will really help. All right, we're gonna go in with the next new product. I've not even heard anybody talk about this. This is only the second time I've used it. So this is the Stila One Step Correct Eye Correcting and Brightening Serum. I'll show it to you. Doesn't that just look so fun? So they've done a primer like this before for the face, but this contains, it says it's an all-in-one eye serum with triple swirled cocktail of peach tones, primes, erases dark circles, brightens, and hydrates. Exclusive elderflower complex and caffeine help depuff and soothe. Specially formulated with Arclay Youth Revival Bio-Mineral Complex and a proprietary blend of 15 vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Doesn't that sound like miracle in a bottle? So the interesting thing is you really, you don't need a whole lot. So I'm like, did I get all three of those in this little tiny bit? I don't know, but we're gonna try this out. So you can see all of those peach tones. You know, I love to use a color corrector, and my eyes are a little extra tired and dark today, so this will be a good test. Ooh, it feels really nice and cooling and moisturizing. it does feel like a treatment for the under eye. Okay, this is like truly a get ready with me. My skin looks a little different. It's because I just tried a combination of this new foundation with a primer, and that primer mixed with my sunscreen and the foundation, it was not pretty. So I had to remove it. Now I have just applied some, I'm gonna try the Bobbi Brown Vitamin C Enriched Face Base. I've had this for a while, but going to try that underneath this foundation. So while that sits, it's a good thing because I wanted to try this before I actually applied my foundation. All right, you're gonna see why I'm laughing in a moment. These are eyebrow stencils. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is you go through this package. Oh my word. This would be a great thumbnail picture, wouldn't it? So here's the package, and there are, how many are there? I think there's like 12. And you go through and you find the stencil that closely mimics kind of the shape of the brows you have or want to have. And this is pretty close to my natural shade. And then it's supposed to help you like fill in your brows. You can also use them to shape them. It comes with a little razor tool that you could use this to, you know, kind of shave off any extra brow hairs. All right, we're gonna use this with my IT Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil in Universal Taupe. All right, let's just see what kind of brow shape. If I follow this little stencil here, let's see if it actually, oh, here it goes. It does give me a little tail. Let's just see if this makes it easier or harder. All right, oh, I'm a little scared. Let's see what we have now. Actually, that is not bad. Wow, okay. Probably the quickest fill-in. It felt a little tight. As you could see, it was really squishing. Maybe I just need to stretch out that elastic a little bit, but wow, that was pretty easy. I am gonna go through with my spoolie though. That's not so bad. I am gonna add a little bit of brow gel. This is the Gimme Brow from Benefit. This came in my BoxyCharm box this month. And it's been a while since I've used this. I have the shade 3. Okay, let's go back to foundation, or back to it for me anyway. Let's go back to the Huda Beauty. This is the shade Panna Cotta 130G. Now this is a little light at the moment. It will be my winter shade, but it's pretty close. All right, I've tried all different methods to apply it. Let's just try, we'll try a brush today. That looks like a lot, but it's really not. I just swiped down lightly. I'm gonna use the 101 brush from BK Beauty, and I'm going to just try to pat this in. It does seem to kind of blend pretty quickly. It is very, feels light on the skin, not quite as waxy as some stick foundations are. Okay, this is a really good look. Let's get some concealer on. Oh my goodness. All right, so you can tell it's looking pretty pale. I'm not loving the finish at all, but let's let it sit. I'm gonna go in with the Dose of Colors concealer. This is the shade 10 Light. And I've used this now, I think 2 times, but I have not used it with that Stila under eye cream. This is pretty full coverage. I'm going to use the Real Techniques, what is this, Expert Concealer brush, just to kind of get this started here. Okay, that concealer is, wow, full coverage. It dries pretty quickly and is not very dewy or luminous, so I kind of don't feel like I need to do a ton of powder, which is a good thing. I'm going to do a little bit of that concealer under the nose. And so you can see that foundation, I went over my dark spot. I have a spot here. It didn't completely cover, so I would not say this is full coverage, even built up. All right, let's powder because I'm just really not loving how the skin is looking, but sometimes powder makes the difference. I am going to use a new powder puff. Don't have a new powder, but this is from ColourPop, and look how similar it is to the Laura Mercier one. It's only slightly larger. I've washed this now 2 times, and it has not started coming apart at all like the e.l.f. ones did. It's a little bit stiffer in texture, but it's super soft, and I think it's a pretty good dupe for that Laura Mercier powder puff. All right, I'm gonna use the Becca Hydra Mist setting powder. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish on the e.l.f. small tapered brush and just lightly set the under eye. I don't have a new contour, so I'm going to go into an oldie but a goodie. This is the Smashbox Cali Contour palette, and I'm going to use a combination of these two on the Sigma F05 and just add a little shape to these cheeks here, and we got to add some color back. We're looking a little ghost-like and pale. For bronzer, I'm going to use one that's new to me. I think I got this about a month ago. It's the Laura Geller Baked Bronze and Brighten in medium. And I have to say, this really reminds me of the Too Faced Sweetie Pie Bronzer. It doesn't have quite as much glow, but the tone of it. So I'm going to use the BK Beauty 103, and I'm going to put this on the tops of the cheeks. Ah, yes, we need some life back to those cheeks. The bad thing about a full coverage foundation, it just wipes out all the color in your face. We got to add a little bit back in the right spots. See, isn't that pretty? There is a little bit of a pink undertone. I think that's why it reminds me of the Sweetie Pie bronzer. And you could even get away with just that for blush. But of course, I have a new one that I want to try out. Now, again, I've had this for a few weeks, and you're gonna freak out when you see the color of this blush. All right, so this is the Wayne Goss one. All right, are you ready? Yes, this is the color I picked out. This is Vivid Azalea, and I don't know that I've used this on camera yet, but I have used this several times myself. I'm going to use the E4 from Morphe. Okay, here's the trick with a bright blush. You're going to tap in and then either tap off on the back of your hand or on a tissue. I have a tissue on my desk. And then just really lightly, I'm just stamping that on my cheeks. Isn't that pretty though? Oh my goodness. Now you get a ton of product in here. The thing is though, I thought was really interesting and curious is the kind of shelf life of this is the shortest of any that I have ever bought. It says 9 months. So there's a little jar on the back here of each label, and that kind of tells you the recommended shelf life. So just something to be aware of. It's a lot of product, but whew, at this rate, I could use this for 9 years and never use it up. I'll use a little bit of this highlighter just to show you. It looks really gold in the pan, but it has kind of a little bit of a peachy pink shift. I don't know if you can tell that, but let's use a little bit of this on the tops of the cheeks here. And you can mix the two of these together for your whole cheek, and it does make a pretty blush too. So very nice formula. And like I said, a ton of product. They are pricey. Okay, let's go back to inner corner highlight. I'm gonna go back to the shadow and we're going to use this shade right here, Brooklyn. A really, really pretty, just soft champagne gold. And again, you know, it's pigmented, but as it works and meshes into your skin, it just kind of blends in and softens, and you're left with just a little bit of brightness where the light catches it. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of that, just kind of overlap that pink shade here. I'm gonna take a little bit of that. I've not done this before, but let's just have some fun. I'm gonna take the e.l.f. small taper brush, a little bit of Brooklyn, and I'm just gonna brush a little bit of that as a highlighter. It's nice. No new mascara to try, so I'm just gonna curl the lashes and apply my favorite trio of mascaras. So applying the Origins Underwear for Lashes Primer, just to the upper lashes. And then before that dries, using the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, again, just on the upper lashes. And then I'm gonna use the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions on the bottom lashes. All right, let's finish up this look with some lips. Now, that City Beauty gloss is still slightly there. I am going to wipe it away. The interesting thing is, I feel like my lips, it's almost like it exfoliates the lips a little bit, because I feel like I have some, just some loose skin there. Needs to be rubbed away. My lips do feel moistened and hydrated, and maybe slightly plumper. I don't know. Let's just go in with our lip products and see. All right, so I'm going to use the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot around the edge, just to even out my lip line, help my lipstick stay in place. For lips, I think the newest product I have, I showed in my Sephora haul, and it's the Huda Beauty Lip Strobe in Ritzy. So I'm gonna use this, but first I'm going to show you kind of how I like to use it to tone down kind of brighter lipsticks and lip liners. So I'm gonna use the MAC lip liner in Half Red. Such a pretty color. It's almost the exact shade of my sweater I'm wearing. Just a hint of red. It's more of a berry shade. Love it. All right, then I'm going to use the MAC lipstick in Plum Dandy. This is such a pretty purple. Now this is the Frost formula, and it is so pretty, and you can definitely leave it like this, but I just want to tone it down a little bit for kind of daytime. So I'm going to go in now with the Huda Beauty Lip Strobe in Ritzy. This is really pigmented. I'm just going to work that in with my finger. All right, so you can see that just added a little bit of brightness and shine to the lips, and the lips do look really nice and full. I don't know if that can be attributed to City Beauty lips or not. We'll see as I keep using it, but here's our finished look. And the eyes have that kind of extra depth and smokiness, but I really love it. Now, I would say out of the products that I used today, the standout by far would be the True Beauty eyeshadow palette. As you're looking at the eyes, there's no glitter particles, even though we packed on those shimmer shades. There's just a slight little bit of light that catches. So if you are somebody who has really been afraid to use shimmers, this is the palette for you. Or if you're someone who likes shimmer but likes to do kind of easy looks for daytime and worries that you kind of might cross over the border with too much glitter for the day, this would be a great palette. And Lisa has a ton of tutorials already on her channel. I'll link her videos down below so you can get even more ideas, but I've really enjoyed this. I think it is a great, unique formula, user-friendly, so yeah, great job, Lisa. And then I have really enjoyed the lip strobe, the Wayne Goss blush. This is still unique to my collection. I think it's great to kind of give that almost like just in from the cold look on your cheeks. So I'll enjoy that. And then of course I have enjoyed the Laura Geller bronzer, and I actually really loved the feel of this. I will keep you posted, keep using this and the concealer as well. I mean, that is full on full coverage. So I'll continue to keep you posted. The liner performed well, and we can't forget our Eyebrow Guides. I'm gonna keep using this and just kind of try a few different tricks with it, but I have to say it really did make it super easy. So if you struggle with, if you have to like draw on your whole brow every day, I think you would love these. Now, the one thing that I just don't think I am loving is the Huda foundation. It feels nice, it feels very lightweight, but I just feel like I see a lot more texture on my skin, and the previous days that I've used this, for me personally, it did not hold up real well through the day. And I just don't like a foundation that I have to try and figure out the appropriate thing to put underneath it. I want it to work with my standard skincare and standard skin prep, and this one has not been doing that for me. So for me, it's not a hit. I know a lot of people love this, but I don't know. I think I'm going to be taking this back because it's just a little too fussy for me, and the end result isn't one that I absolutely love. So, but anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this Get Ready with me. Thank you as always so much for being here, for watching, supporting. Please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.